How bad was the Orange Bowl outcome for college football?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely bad for college football, but I think it was also bad specifically for Florida State. And the reason I say that is that a lot of teams have had people that are opting out or that are injured or that are transferring, going to the draft, et cetera. And you're a team that's in a position to, I'm not even saying make a statement, but I'm just saying in a position to compete. Like as football players, it's a joy, an opportunity to get a chance to compete. And Florida State may be saying, well, shoot, we wanted to compete for a college football playoff. We wanted to be playing right now, playing today in the Rose Bowl or the Sugar Bowl for a chance to go to a championship, right? But Georgia could also have said the same thing, right? And you could say, well, yeah, Georgia lost. But like my thing is, like when you're on that field, you want to compete. And so I think you could say it's a bad look for college football. I would say maybe not that bad because next year it's going to be a 12-team playoff and all of the main teams or the best players, major players will likely play in that college football playoff for a chance to compete for a national championship. But also, there was a game that was supposed to be played and one team showed up, at least their players showed up, and one team didn't. So I think for a Florida State team, I think in their minds, they're saying, okay, well, this is more about the future of us, future of college football, we're trying to leave the ACC. Let's forget about this game for some of the players. And some of them, it was like, well, shoot, I'm here, I got to go play. Whereas Georgia was like, dude, we want to dominate every single time we are on that football field. They did a national championship last year, huge outcome, big disparity against TCU. They did it again when they played Florida State.
I think it's an absolutely awful look for college football. And it needs to change, to Kirby Smart's words, immediately. Here's the problem with college football. First of all, there's no leadership. There's no governing leadership over it all. Two, NIL and the transfer portal have completely wrecked 99% of what college football really is. And there's no governing leadership over that right now. So college football needs to get something or someone that is spearheading and leading it through what it's going to be its next phase, because it has to evolve. It can no longer operate the way it has for many years, both as the structure of its schedule, when it comes to the transfer portal, and what NIL, the name, image, and likeness is. There needs to be something controlling and governing it, not getting rid of it. First of all, the college football schedule should get changed and moved up. Okay, the fact that we're going to a longer season next year is even bigger of a problem because this season is so long. They should move the season up like 2 weeks. They should probably start sometime in August. They should get the college football playoff done by the new year. They should not be getting into the middle and third week of January. They should be not be competing with the NFL. The two biggest parts that schedule-wise need to change. One, get rid of the early signing period. It completely changes rosters when it comes to college football. Completely get rid of it. And then number two, and this is probably the most important one, you cannot open the transfer portal during the season. Regular or bowl season. The transfer portal should not be opened during bowl season. Because the Florida State game and the Georgia game is a perfect example. The backup quarterback for Florida State, Tate Rodemaker, is in a situation where, do I play in the bowl game or do I enter the transfer portal? Because if I don't enter the transfer portal and I play in the bowl game, I can't enter the transfer portal. But I know that I'm not going to be here next year, so I'm going to enter the transfer portal. Immediately, the team is weakened. Immediately, it impacts the rest of the team. These guys, these young men that are part of these teams, should be a part of these teams from the start to the end of the season. And then after all the season is done, not just the regular season, but bowl season as well, that's when the transfer portal should be open for guys. So then opting out of the bowl game to strictly enter the transfer portal is no longer an option, and so it doesn't minimize these games.
But the issue with that, Dan, and I hear you, like I've been covering college football, right? We've both been covering college football. The issue with that is, what about school? You know what I mean? Like, the reason that the transfer portal is where the opt-out situation is where it is because spring classes are going to start, right? Like, people are going back to school in just a few days. And so that's why it is what it is, right? I remember when I was playing, they would say, okay, yeah, you're a student athlete, student first, athlete set, or how they would say, like,
that's why you move, but that's why you move the date as well of the season, Ach. Like, that's why We have to start this season sooner, and the college football playoff really should start early December, not early January.
Well, it will change now with the 12 team. But Sam, quick question: Did you take pride in playing in a bowl game?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, but back then, it wasn't back then, right? 2007.
No, but that's it.
It was an opportunity. Go to California.
Yes.
It was like, whoa, I get to go to California. I've been once or twice, get to play in the Holiday Bowl. Then all of a sudden, we were in the Fiesta Bowl. We weren't playing for a national championship. We feel like we got snubbed, right? It was a three-way tie in the Big 12. Oklahoma went. We didn't, though we beat Oklahoma. We wanted to go make a point. We dominated, well, not dominated, but we won against Ohio State. So we felt like we made a point, and that carried us over to the next year where we went undefeated and went into the national championship 13-0. We ended up losing Alabama. Quarterback got injured, didn't win that game. But because we had something to prove, we were more of a team. That's why I wanted to play. I don't fault any player who decides they want to go transfer right now because they're not getting opportunities. Sometimes their coaches are leaving. We have heard coaches say, yeah, I'm not going anywhere. And the next day they're signing somewhere else. And so my point is, players have to do what's in the best interests of them as well. The NCAA for years and years is making a lot of money off of players. Now all of a sudden, players have a chance to make money off their name, image, and likeness, opportunity to transfer, and we're seeing, look at the Heisman Trophy, look at the playoff teams. Sometimes transfer actually helps, and NIL helps as well.
Dan, who do you have in the Alabama-Michigan matchup?
I'm going to take Michigan, and I think the biggest part of this game is Michigan defensively not giving up explosive pass plays. This is one of the most, if not the most explosive pass offense in college football this year. I think if Michigan can do that and force a little bit of the methodical drives, advantage them.
Sam?
Yeah, I'm going to go Alabama. I don't think Michigan's going to be ready for Alabama's, not only their confidence, but Jalen Milroe's athleticism and his deep ball throwing ability. We saw in the SEC championship game, Jalen Milroe used his arm. At the very end, he used his legs to seal the deal. I'm going Alabama.
All right, Sam, you're on the Sugar Bowl's megacast, so you can't predict this game. So just give me your key to the Texas-Washington game.
I think the key will be the offensive line for Washington. They just won the Joe Moore Award for the best offensive line in college football, going against Tavondre Sweat, Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year, and Byron Murphy, another freak on the defensive line. And that's what I would go with. And shout out, I'm also here with the All-State AFCA Good Works team. I got a chance to speak with those guys as well, so I'll be seeing those guys at halftime of the game as well.
And we'll be watching you tonight. Who's your pick?
I'm taking Washington. I think Washington is so well coached, as well as Texas, but so well coached. I think they can throw the ball in the perimeter and minimize Texas's physicality.
Sam, have a great broadcast tonight. Enjoy the game. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
You're done with work. What a day.
Let's go to bed.
2024 for you.
Give me something. Everybody shake around.